Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to another inspiring episode number 29 of The Limelight. I'm so thankful to all my listeners who take out time and listen to these interviews. So, let me introduce our guest on the hot seat today. She's a gynecologist by profession, a food and lifestyle blogger by passion. She was a top 3 finalist in Foodshala 2016 and a first runners-up for the Hershey's Bake Off 2015. She has won a majority of competitions around UAE. So, listeners, welcome our guest, Dr. Rajul Matkar.
Hi, Fareen. How are you?
I'm fine, doctor. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. And I'd like to thank the Limelight and you for inviting me to this today.
It's a pleasure and honor to have you on this show, doctor.
Thank you, Fareen.
Dr. Rajul, before we get into your journey and your story, please can you tell our listeners about your personal life?
Fareen, I'm a obstetrician and gynecologist, and I've been practicing for 27 years. I'm from Mumbai, India, basically, and have been there my whole life. I was practicing over there. I moved to UAE after 20 years of my practice about 7.5 years ago. And I've been here and practicing here since then. I am married. My husband is a doctor. He's a surgeon. And I have a son who's about 16 years old. And we're very happy to be here in the UAE.
That's really nice to know about you, Dr. Rajul, and I wish that God gives you and your family all the health and success in life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Dr. Rajul, tell us about your journey. How has it been to be a gynecologist?
When I was in medical college, my father was a doctor. And I had apparently always said when I was young, I used to always say that I'll be a doctor. He was my inspiration all the time. And I was very interested in surgery, particularly. And when I had to choose my profession, my line for my MD, it was my father's decision actually that made me take this decision. He told me that I should be a gynecologist. And I'm very happy that he could see that in some way I've played a huge role in empowering women, in offering them a place where they can come and talk. It's not just been about prescription writing for me for 27 years. I have a connect with my patients. Even my practice for 20 years back home was a huge thing about taking women forward in their lives. So getting a new life into, when you help the woman give birth,
Yes.
there is something that you go through every time too, because when you see that baby cry every time the baby's born, and you see the happy faces around you, even though you know the complications and everything that can happen,
Yeah.
there is some kind of satisfaction you have at the end of the day, which is indescribable. So thank God that my hand was led towards doing this. I would have probably not done anything else. Even though I have sidelined now partially towards food, it is basically connected with medicine in my brain because that's where I want to take it forward. But I don't think I can give up practice ever. In fact, when I was expecting my baby, I had my baby very, very late in my life when I was 38 years old.
Okay.
I had problems before that, and I never gave up work even at that time. I was working right till the last day before I delivered. And I went back to work on the 9th day after cesarean and delivered another 4 women who were due with me at that time.
Oh,
So this is a thing that what connect I have with my practice is never going to go away. So I am very grateful to God for letting me do this in my life.
I really appreciate that, Dr. Rajal. You are so dedicated to your work because only if you're dedicated, you can give your 100%.
Yes, so it's not about how much money you make at the end of the day. I
Yes.
think you have to know what should satisfy you,
Yes.
and you have to be true to your patient.
Yeah, right, doctor. So, doctor, tell us more about your passion for healthy food, and I want to know also the advantages of it.
Farina, actually, it was about 4 years back. that I was really jolted into doing more research and going towards this path. I lost my father about 4 years, 4.5 years back.
Okay.
And at that point, it was, actually right through my life, he was the factor that would tell us everything about health and healthy and be healthy, eat healthy, don't eat things that will be harmful to your body. But somehow for me particularly, I had never followed it, though I was giving advice to everyone else in my clinic. When he passed away, I was going through a phase where I had a lot of personal problems with my health at that time. And it hit me at that time that, okay, just taking medicines is not something I wanted to look at for the rest of my life. Okay. So though I had done so much reading before, I had not really applied it. Mm-hmm. And I started applying it at that point, and I read more on it, did a lot more research. And I truly believe that food is absolutely the focal point of how we can prevent disease, how we can even keep diseases away from your body, basically. Diets in the sense not to lose weight particularly, but to make inflammation less in the body. Okay. And from there onwards, I started even blogging because I realized that I did want to talk about certain things to a larger audience. Mm-hmm. I wanted to connect with people. I was never interested in cooking before that in terms of like this passionate about cooking or about new dishes. That I didn't have that passion because I just didn't have that kind of time to do it. Okay. I started taking out time over the last 2 years to do all this. The main reason why I was doing this, besides all my health problems, I was seeing my son and a lot of other teenagers also and realizing that they don't know anything about food. And if you look at the larger picture, it is us parents who are to blame because we don't put them into the kitchen to cook. Neither do we take them to supermarkets to buy food. We never teach them to read labels. We never even teach them what is good food, clean food. I won't say clean as a clean word, but what is good for their body and what should not be had in terms of chemicals and what those chemicals can do to them. So this was a thing I wanted to do. I wanted to teach, and I had been doing awareness programs for a long time, even while I was in India. I used to talk on menopause and osteoporosis at that time. And over here, since I had come, I was talking about cancer breast, cancer cervix. Okay. And I just wanted to take this a little forward, and I started talking about nutrition to teenagers in school and to children in school. Because my target audience I wanted as teenagers, and I'm still on that path where I want to take this forward. My blog is also exactly not where it should be, but it will ultimately be there. But this is my goal. I want this to go forward because I think they are the next generation, and it is our duty to teach our children what we need to do.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Parents are responsible for our kids' well-being and health. We teach them, and we have to teach about the food and what they have to consume, and also help around in the kitchen so that they see what is nutritious and what they can get into their bodies, which is healthy and not junk.
And if you ask me about advantages about healthy food, when you look at healthy food, I look at it only in one way. I realized over the years that you need to eat something that is not processed, because over the last 50 years, what has been fed to us is what is coming out of an industry that it's driven by profits. I mean, if you look at what goes into processed food, so basically I would say you have to look at the advantages of fresh, locally produced, healthy food which you will cook and eat and benefit from that. And you also need to see where your produce is coming from. You know, what you're putting into the body, at the end of the day, you have one liver. God gave you one liver to take out all your toxins that are going into the body. I'm putting it simply here because toxins go into your body in many different ways. It's not only what you're eating, it's what you apply on your body or what you breathe or what you come into contact with your cleaning agents at home, your detergents, your kitchen cleaning agents, There could be multiple ways in which toxins are battering your body daily. So you have to just become aware of all this. And when I'm doing all this, I just want to spread that awareness.
Wow, Dr. Rajul, this is really great initiative. After listening to you, most of our listeners will surely check out more things which you are highlighting in this interview.
Yeah. Like I follow it completely, but it's something that I am working towards. And I think every one of us can work towards it.
Yes. And if something benefits our body, then why not try?
Absolutely.
Okay. I have a rapid fire session for you here
Okay.
where I'll be asking you a few questions and you can
Okay.
answer them in one word or a sentence. Okay?
I said I'm scared now. Yeah.
Okay. So my first question is, which was the last book you have read?
Recently, I was at the Emirates Lit Fest and I read a little bit of book that's called Pimp My Rice. It's about rice and the history of rice. I like to
Okay.
pick up books that gives me a lot of history about the region from where that food is coming and what kind of food they make and how it is connected. I love reading cookbooks of all kinds. Okay, so that's
Wow, that's interesting.
another set of books also that I like is Devdutt Patnaik. They are about mythological stories about India and our mythology. And I love his books. So those are also what I like to read.
Okay, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So the next question is,
Yeah.
if you were invisible for a day, what would you do?
Okay, so here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go into the kitchen of Heston Blumenthal when he is working there to see what he's really doing and how his brain ticks. I think he just creates awesome molecular stuff.
Okay, that's cool. What is the best compliment you ever got?
A lot of people connect with me for my being strong, and that is the best compliment I have ever got. I like it when they tell me. A lot of people depend on me in terms of my patients. There are friends. Everybody says that I am a very strong personality, and that I truly feel I am, and it makes me feel happy to be there for others, to be a good friend.
That's really fantastic, and I do feel the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question, which is your favorite snack?
Okay, this is being bad, but popcorn.
It's good, no? Popcorn is good, healthy.
I used to think popcorn is healthy, yes, but I don't think of it that way anymore. Anything, okay, it is healthier than some of the other fried snacks, depending on how you're making it.
Right.
But I think differently about corn also. So anything in moderation is healthy. So if I'm having a small snack of popcorn, it's fine, but I can't stop at that. That's why I laughed. I said that is
Okay.
something. That's why I wouldn't classify it as healthy because I can't stop at it. But I love popcorn, yes.
Okay, so that was the end of the rapid fire round.
So how did I do? I was okay?
Yeah, you did great.
Thank you.
So we are heading towards the last section of our show where we ask for your advice.
I don't know if I don't want to give any particular advice in terms of what to eat or how to behave. But as I was saying, that most women do not really put themselves before anybody else.
Yeah.
It is my recommendation that you do that. Pamper yourselves, you go to the parlor, enjoy a manicure, pedicure. At the same time, go for your regular health visits too. Once in a year, you need to do your pap smear. Once in a year, you need to have a regular gynac checkup or a breast checkup. Even if you don't have any other problems, get your routine blood test done. Get yourself tested for your thyroid. You may not have had it for years and years. See a good doctor who understands how your hormones work. It's absolutely necessary to do this. Take out time to incorporate some exercise in your life, whether it is swimming or cycling or playing a game, anything. It could be, you could even go and play basketball or you could even play cricket. It doesn't matter. But you should do some kind of exercise, or you could just climb stairs if you don't have time for anything else. And I will say that each one of you all are unique, and so are your health needs. And instead of just eating healthy, the trick to any kind of balance is to eat right and do everything in moderation for your body's individual healing needs. It's not just healing for physically for your body, it is healing emotionally and mentally also. And I truly believe that. I think it's necessary to do that.
Yes, doctor, I agree, and I love the advice which you gave, especially about the health. We have to check on our health regularly. Women
Yes.
just keep that as a last thing to be done, but yes, we have to prioritize our health first. And Dr. Rajul, I thank you so much that you have taken out time from your busy schedule and you have given us this interview and inspired a lot other listeners. Thank you so much, doctor.
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful that you could have me. I enjoyed this. Thank you, Fareen, and I thank the Limelight for having me here today.
You're welcome. Doctor, after listening to you, I'm very sure our listeners would like to connect.
Fareen, I write a blog. It's called, it's on WordPress. It's called To Be or Not to Be Rajul. And I'm on Instagram. All my details, I think we can put in the posts down below. On Instagram, I'm Rajul_25. Also, for any kind of medical problems, I'm working at clinic at the moment. And I think if you put down all the details in the post, it would be nice for them to connect. They're always welcome to ask any questions.
Yes, for sure, doctor. So listeners, if you have liked this interview, please click the like button of the Limelight page and also share. So thank you for listening and Allah Hafiz.